Riders of the Mark, and let's ride, baby. We're going to auto-pay, go down to 14, but that's okay. Look at this beautiful thing. Let's swing off. Riders of the Mark. Oh, they're screwed. Look at this. Boom. We get 4 1/1s, and now this Riders of the Mark is going to cost 1 red. Absolutely silly. Ladies and gentlemen, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode of Mana, and today we've got a juicer for it. Before we dig into the deck, make sure to leave a like. The button looks just like this, and it does help out the channel tremendously. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dig right in. We're gonna let's ride with some Boros. Riders of the Mark. This card is absolutely insane. This is going to cost 1 less for each human creature you control. Trample haste at the beginning of your end step. If it attacked, not if it dealt combat damage or if it battled, if it just attacks, you're going to return it to its hand, and then you're going to create a number of 1/1 human soldier creature tokens equal to its toughness. So basically, 99% of the time, it's going to be 4 1/1s because we don't really have anything to kind of buff it up. So let's just get into the deck. As you'll kind of notice, we do run the little shell, the early shell of the Boros Convoke stuff, but we have a lot weaker of the Knight-Errant stuff. So I'm only running 3 of these because a lot of times we do kind of want to get into the Riders of the Mark, but why are we kind of like leaning, like we still like it, it's still a good core. The reason we're not doing that is because we don't run Gleeful Demolition. You could do it even in Alchemy. It is a little bit hard because you don't have the Voldaren Epicure, but I like this kind of core because let's just kind of get into it. So we got the Rally of the Hornburg. So why are we running the Rally at the Hornburg rather than the Resolute Reinforcements? You can run both of these, but again, because we're not a pure Convoke deck, I do really like this. So the Reinforcements actually creates a white soldier token. It doesn't create a human token. The Rally at the Hornburg creates humans. So you get 2 humans, which lessens the mana cost for the Riders of the Mark. So that's why I prefer this. You could run both and then just kind of, accept that there's only one. But because we're not a full-blown Convoke deck, that's kind of the reason why for that. So let's go for the Impassioned Orator. Burn is popular in Alchemy. Obviously, if you play Standard, obviously there's Convoke, and then there's just Mono Red. But you do need this Impassioned Orator. It is a human, so obviously we love the human for the Riders of the Mark, and it does just gain you life. It's kind of like that Luminarch Aspirant type of thing, but no one's really expecting it. I've noticed that. There's so much more burn in Alchemy, at least from what I've seen, that this card actually can swing you games. Got the Coppercoat Vanguard, because this is humans. We are playing humans. We are kind of Convoke, but we're kind of not. Let's go ahead and get into the Alchemy card. The Jewel Mine Overseer. I absolutely love this card. So it's this or the that Sanguine Evangelist. That's not a human, so that's the reason why we're doing this. And I actually prefer this card, especially over this build, because allows you to break the tie in when you're just building up board. So if you're like have a mirror match, this card just kind of wins you the game. It's gonna give you 7 dwarves, and then you're going to put them into the graveyard. When this creature enters the battlefield, you're going to draw a card, but at the beginning of your upkeep, you're going to exile the top card of your library, and you may play that this turn. So yeah, it does suck if it gets lightning struck or just kind of gets like virtual persistence, whatever, removed right away. But if it doesn't, this can break boards in the mirror match and just creature-based matchups overall. Really, really like this Alchemy card. It is a mythic though, so if you do need a replacement, just go for the Sanguine Evangelist. If you don't feel like shelling out for some Alchemy mythics, I completely understand. But this is pretty much the deck here. We're taking the Warden, the Inner Sky, Recruitment Officer, Novice Inspector. Unless you've been living under a rock, you kind of know what's going on here. But this is just another little Boros deck. I'm Name's Recruiter, of course. You don't live under the rock. You know what this thing does. Riders of the Mark, let's ride. Consider joining the channel. That would help me out as a content creator. Get ready to subscribe if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Your go. How we doing here? All right, well, hopefully we don't give them a your go. Not keep them waiting. What a name though, your go. I kind of like it. I don't like these sleeves though. These sleeves give me PTSD. I had a friend back in high school that had a that never sleeved their cards, and I remember, this is probably like 2013ish, but they had a Scavenging Ooze unsleeved. I think at the time it was like $40, which I mean $40 is still $40, but even back then in high school, I was like, oh my god, it just made me so sad. But hey. Your go. Whew, all right, I guess we were going to play. Got me whew. All right, threw me off. I genuinely thought that was it, but okay, your go. We are playing. Let's go. All right, got the Contaminant. Oh, this is actually not even a Surveil Lance. That's actually kind of interesting. Okay. Let's just go and drop the Coppercoat Vanguard. Don't have the board to kind of really buff up with it, but hey, it is what it is. We can go in for the Jewel Mine Overseer, and off to a slow start, so it's looking like Esper, which I don't really love, but that's okay. I'm going to go for the Jewel Mine Overseer. I think this card is pretty gosh darn good, especially if you can kind of, later in the game with the Dwarves, getting them to draw is actually really, really nice. So let's see, we got the Jewel Mine Overseer. We do get to kind of exile the top card. I think it's a little bit better than going for Imodane's Recruiter. Maybe I am wrong. Turn 3, I mean, I guess we could go for Recruiter and push a little bit more damage. I don't know, the Jewel Mine Overseer does have more abilities anyway, though. Yeah, I think I like this. Again, we're trying to beat the Sunfall. That's what we're trying to do here. I can tell you that right now. So let's do this, and let's just go straight in. Now we can go for the Imodane's Recruiter. This is fine. Let's do this. Of course, do the thing. And 7 damage isn't too shabby. Of course, we're kind of trying to build up the Riders of the Mark. As soon as we cast this, it's pretty much game over. So Virtue of Persistence, unfortunately, does kind of set us back here. And no, they're actually running red as well. So I have no idea what we're even playing. This is actually kind of really weird. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go for red. And I gotta make a decision. Do I want to go for Imodane's Recruiter? I think we do. I think let's just not... Yeah, I think we do. Let's do this, and then... Well, man, it is really tempting. It is really tempting. We can do 4 damage, or we can just go straight on for full Convoke. Let's do this and go for this. Man, it's close. It's close. If they... No. I actually did not want to do that. I actually did want to Convoke with the Recruiter, so that I have a 1-drop I can potentially play. But now that I don't have a 1-drop... I think we're just going to go for double 7 dwarves. Yeah, like I said, I definitely wanted to, but I just kind of screwed up there a little bit. But alright, so we got the 7 dwarves, we got the Riders of the Mark. Obviously, the Riders of the Mark, oh my god, thank god. I was going to say, if they don't have a Sunfall, but they don't have 2 white sources here for the Sunfall anyway. So, Virtue of Persistence, of course, not great, but right now we can absolutely cast the Riders of the Mark here. So I'm just trying to think of what I want to do here. That last removal did kind of bite, but I mean, this is still the key of our deck. This is the MVP. So I think we're gonna go for the Recruitment Officer. This is gonna make our Riders of the Mark a little bit cheaper. It actually doesn't even really matter particularly right now. But should we go for the Riders of the Mark or the Imodane's Recruiter? I think it's still better off going for the Riders of the Mark. Yeah, let's do this. Yep. And I'm swinging all. I'm swinging all. The Riders of the Mark, of course, is going to come back to our hand. Look at that. Down to 2. Now, the Rusko still survives, so I got to be a little careful about that. But we do get this big board. And worst case scenario, 1 ring. Of course, the 1 ring. Very, very aggravating, but hey, it is what it is. Frost Memory. Okay. I'm not freaking out yet, because what is so nice about the Riders of the Mark here? The Riders of the Mark, actually, we don't need to deal damage to get the 4 1/1s. We only have to attack, if you notice this. It says if it attacks this turn. Coppercoat Vanguard. So now all I'm really worried about, obviously, is going to be some sort of, board wipe, Sunfall, etc., etc. But I think what we're going to do, let's go for Riders of the Mark. Yep, it only costs 1. Riders of the Mark costs a whopping 1. Alright, and now I am going to swing with you, just you. If they want to trade, that's fine. I don't think they're going to. And I think we're going to use the Recruitment Officer, because I don't really want to commit to the board anymore. It's either they have it or they don't. So yeah, let's just do this and then go for the Recruitment Officer. I think that's perfectly fine. So Riders of the Mark comes back. We got the biggest board in history, but the Rusko is what I'm a little bit nervous about. And now that we have this memory, I mean, I've never seen this be used, but I think that this is the kind of deck you'd want to use it in. So the 1 ring comes out. Fingers crossed for no other 1 ring. The Bass Song. What the heck is that? I forgot what this even does. Draw 2 cards and then discard a card. Okay, I mean, as long as it doesn't shut down combat, I think we're looking okay. And we can just go for the Recruitment Officer. This is why the Recruitment Officer... Oh, we take it! Let's go! They know this Riders of the Mark was coming for them. Vicious Villicus, how we doing here? Looking like a pretty good hand. Big fan of alliteration on the channel, Villicus, so welcome aboard. Alright, Vicious Villicus, I think we're looking okay. We do have 2 Warden of the Inner Skies. The Captivating Crossroads, obviously, not really the best thing being on the play, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, let's just drop you, and worst case scenario, we just get 2 Warden of the Inner Skies. A little bit, we don't really love to see the Recruiter and the Riders of the Mark in the same hand, always. We do want to get a little bit more, wide, but that's okay. Let's go for the Warden of the Inner Sky, and at least take 1 damage here, and we'll be okay. So the next turn, we're definitely looking for land. Land, definitely. Oh, Swarm, this thing's a 2/2 menace, so I'm not too worried about that right now. We do get into our land, thank goodness. Now, I could just drop the Imodane's Recruiter and push for damage. Or I could go for the Orator. I think it's genuinely pretty close. I'm going to go for the Orator. It's very close, but I think I wanted to get the Scry going here. And I don't even know exactly what I'm looking for, but that's just kind of where my mind naturally gravitated towards. So the Inspector is kind of nice with the Warden of the Sky, but we have the Imodane's Recruiter. I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of looking for a land, because the Riders of the Mark needs 4. I think we just drop the Riders of the Mark and then go for the Imodane's Recruiter. Really, it's not that big of a deal. Sacrifice a creature. I actually think, do I go for the Orator or the Inner Sky? I think we're going to go for the Warden. It is close, though. If they have a bunch of menace creatures, there is a world where maybe we kind of get blown apart by these menace creatures, but it's not really looking like it. Unfortunately, the Riders of the Mark we can't really get into this turn, so I think that's kind of be pretty obvious what we do here. Yeah, let's go for the Imodane's Recruiter. Cards been terrorizing Standard, and to a lesser degree Alchemy, but yeah, this is fine. 2/2 with Menace, and I do want to, yeah, I think the cards in our hand are so good that I do want to really make sure that we kill Liliana. I think we're going to have to double swing in on Liliana and then swing into their face, obviously, with 1. But I have to make sure that Lily dies. So we get a trade here. I think we're looking okay. Of course, the Riders of the Mark goes down 1 because we lose a human there. Pretty unfortunate. Oh, this is actually not that bad. This is actually like one of the best case scenarios right now. This card is very good if you're like ahead. But right now, I mean, I was way more afraid of like some more removal. So Riders of the Mark, if we do top deck into a land, I'm losing a life. Don't care about that. And, okay, Rally of the Hornburg. Ooh, it's actually a little more awkward than I'd like it to be. Yeah, I feel let's not be cute here. Let's just drop the Recruiter. But, yeah, like I said, we don't really have too much of an option here. Let's push damage. And then next turn, we're just trying to get into this Riders of the Mark, which we can, barring removal. And, of course, we got to be careful of the dreaded Sunfall. If they do drop a land, I do have to clench my butt cheeks. Don't do it. Oh, Vraska. Okay, Vraska is removal, so we're not going to be able to get into the Riders of the Mark. I'm assuming they're just going to, like, make a treasure token out of it. Actually, no, we can't, because it makes a treasure. Duh. So we makes a treasure token, and I think we can go for Riders of the Mark, and I think we're going to finish off this game. Definitely just lose life. Don't really care. I don't think you're going to do 19 damage to me. And we got A-Thran Portal just for good measure. Just for good measure. And, you know, we have 2 red sources here. So let's go for Rally of the Hornburg. We get both of our Riders of the Mark equity back. And because those are 2, we pay 2 for 2 humans, and we go for Riders of the Mark, Haste Trample for the win. What a nice clean win. Sorry, Vicious Villicus. This is the true alliteration of the day. Zow, how we doing here? All right, looking pretty good. Like I said, this deck plays a little differently than the Boros Convoke deck in Standard, just because it is kind of more, you know, oriented towards humans. So then we should go in for the Battlefield Forge and just get down the Recruitment Officer. Hopefully we do get into at least one more land that we can kind of play, but even if not, the Captivating Crossroads, again, if you're new to the channel, definitely have, I've said this before, but Captivating Crossroads, Shock, whatever. The Captivating Crossroads, more cards need to be kind of catered to this. I really, really enjoy this. Not only is it like really good for the lands here, obviously it doesn't help me right now, but this kind of like, if you're not the starting player, give you like a boost, and if you are the starting player, give you like a nerf. I think I'm a big fan of these types of cards. I think Alchemy should do a lot more regarding this. So, got the Riders of the Mark. This card's absolutely nuts, absolutely insane. So, because we are playing against presumably aggro, what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna not put down the Impassioned Orator. I know it seems a little bit nuts. Let's go ahead and do this, and I think we're gonna go in for red, and I'm gonna go for the Coppercoat Vanguard. I know that seems insane, but I know for a fact that they have removal. And I would rather them remove the Vanguard than the Orator, because this Orator is going to be kind of what wins us the game, more so than anything else. So, appears I'm a little bit wrong so far, but let's see what they have. That removal spell. I know that, see, exactly, you know they have a removal spell. Most of their deck is just burn. So as long as we can do that, I think this is going to be the way to do it. So now we go for the Impassioned Orator, and then we at least get down something with the Novice Inspector. Like I said, there we go. I like that a little bit more. Let's see. We're not going to win with the Vanguard. We're going to win because the Orator is going to allow us to gain more life than they can burn. Or at least that's just the plan. Alright, so Melter, again, they're going to have a bazillion different burn spells. But if it's not hitting my face, I guess it's okay. But then again, I got to worry about this Druid getting huge. So, I'm gonna take it. We need this Riders of the Mark to do it. Once we have the Riders of the Mark, then we can just create a bunch of 1/1s, so I think until that happens, we're just going to kind of take this and just hope for the best. Because as of right now, we're not looking super great. I think we can go for the Rally of the Hornburg and maybe the Imodane's Recruiter. I'm actually going to do this and then go for the Rally. Kind of a weak turn 4, but if we can get into a little bit more land, yeah, let's do this. And I'm going to swing in like this, but maybe let's keep the Inspector back, because at some point I am going to have to block. Because next turn we can go for the Riders of the Mark. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep back the Inspector to chump block. And then we're going to create this weird little dynamic so that we can swing in with the Riders, get a little bit of chump blocking going, because this is a lot of damage. And plus they are eventually going to get into a Monstrous Rage. Alright, no Monstrous Rage quite yet. Another Ren's Resolve, just please no Monstrous Rage. Alright, so just a Lightning Strike. As long as they don't have that Monstrous Rage, I am good to go. Let's do this. And then next turn, this will cost 4, and then we'll have the Imodane's Recruiter. I think we can do this. Okay. Bang. The A-Thran Portal is going to be a small price to pay. I'm absolutely glad to pay this. Yep, that'll work. I guess we'll call white, or maybe, yeah, it doesn't really matter. The A-Thran Portal shocks us in anyway, so. 18 life, let's do it. Riders of the Mark, and let's ride, baby. We're going to auto pay, go down to 14, but that's okay. Look at this beautiful thing. Let's swing off. Riders of the Mark. If they do not have a Monstrous Rage, oh, they're screwed. Look at this. Boom. Get 4 1/1s. And now this Riders of the Mark is going to cost 1 red. Absolutely silly. So now, again, I'm just kind of in the same boat as before. Kind of just hoping for no Monstrous Rage. If they commit to swinging with the Druid, I don't know. I mean, they might just kind of be in bad luck here. Copper Line Gorge does come in taps, so they're going to be kind of screwed on the green sources here. So next turn is going to get absolutely insane. We're going to drop the Riders of the Mark. We're going to go for Recruitment Officer, and then the Imodane's Recruiter. Good luck. Good luck. So I think as long as we survive this turn, I mean, it's pretty much lights out. Okay, so it has been like an absurdly long time. I have no way to like kind of quantify it because I'm going to edit this video, but it has literally been at least 3, 4, 5. It's been like 5 minutes. I don't know. But either way, the rope's not coming. Okay, I think it gave us the win just because, I mean, I think I just got into diamond tier, so I can't even remember if I was on 1 tick or 0, but I think it gave us the win. So either way, I'll take it, but very bizarre. Gun it. 2-2. 2-2. How we doing here? All right, so I've got the Jewel Mine Overseer. We're on the play. Turn 2 looks a little bit better than turn 1, so it's fine. I think on the draw, I'd be a little bit more apt to get rid of this, but I think this is fine. We'll just go in for red. Doesn't matter. Turn 2, we're going to go for the A-Thran Portal and the Captivating Crossroads. I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of the Captivating Crossroads from a design perspective. I think I've said that a lot. I think I should probably stop saying that. For some reason, I'm just like, some people may have not have heard me say that, but... All right, so you get a mountain, which is kind of unfortunate, because the Captivating Crossroads, we can kind of activate this outside the 3 turns, but that's okay. We'll pay the 1. We'll pay 1 here. Go for the Coppercoat Vanguard. Yeah, we do have to pay with the A-Thran Portal, but it is what it is. If we would have called white, hey, hindsight's 20/20. We didn't know. All right, so I'm assuming this is going to be, I mean, sometimes it is dinosaurs with Gruul, but most of the time it's just burn. Just like Gruul, inscription-y burn, kind of. Captivating Crossroads, and there we go. Picnic Ruiner. Okay, so it's still Gruul, but not really burn Gruul. It's going to be something else. And honestly, we got a pretty bad matchup versus this, so I am a little nervous. I am going to swing. There's no way they don't have, like, you know, trample. They're going to pump this thing up, obviously. So I think we're just going to go for the Jewel Mine Overseer and just kind of hope that we can kind of maybe establish a bigger board. But yeah, this Picnic Ruiner, we know what this thing does, and I don't have removal in this deck, so this might be a little scary. Wow, and they're going to swing in here? That's fine. I mean, if they pump it now, that's fine, but they didn't get the double strike off this. If they didn't pump it beforehand. So, yeah, they say oops. Yeah, that's definitely an oops. I will take it. What a beautiful hand to not have red in it. Unfortunate. Otherwise, it'd be looking pretty gosh darn good, so... Cac, one little DS, how you doing here? I'm gonna have to mulligan. It's just a little too raw. Yeah, we're gonna have to mulligan. Ooh. Am I gonna double mulligan? I think I just like have to, right? I mean, I could. Well, let's actually keep this. Okay, let's keep this. I guess we'll get rid of the Jewel Mine Overseer. Actually, I don't know. I think we might. Let's get rid of the. Let's get rid of the Orator. Final answer. Okay. This is going to get rough. I think the only chance we really have is to go for the Novice Inspector, because we can get 1 scry out of the Warden of the Inner Sky if we don't top deck into a land here. So that's the only reason why I'm thinking we might be okay. Okay, so there's 1 down. There's 1 down, and I'm going to go for the Inspector here. Yeah, I'm getting nervous. We can miss like maybe 1 land drop, especially if it's not like against like mono red or something like that. But I'm getting a little nervous here. All right, fingers crossed, baby. Okay. Well, let's go for the Warden of the Inner Sky, and hopefully they let the scry happen. So, yep, let's go. Come on, come on. All right. Let's get the scry. And that's not a land. That's not a land either. And hopefully we're just at the complete mercy. Pray to the algorithm gods or the hand smoothing gods, whatever god was gonna help me for another land. No red in the opener. No, well, I mean, I guess I could have gone for a double, but hey, we live and die by our decisions. Oh, what? Yeah, I think we can rock with this. Looks pretty good to me. Let's see what we got going on. Let's go ahead and just set up with the... do you want to go for the Inspector or do we want to go for the Recruitment Officer? I think we'll go for the Inspector. We don't have a Warden of the Inner Sky, so this token might be a little bit of a moot point. So maybe we're just better off going for the Recruitment Officer. Again, I'm still in that, like, standard Convoke sense. But this is... Okay, we got a Warden of the Inner Sky anyway, so... Alright, I don't know if I want to tap out for the Warden of the Inner Sky, though. That's kind of the only problem. So, this is actually really awkward. It's not really awkward, it's just not super optimal. So the Warden of the Inner Sky, I don't really want to tap out. And the Orator, we can get down the Orator, which is more efficient, but I'm not really too worried about our life total versus Toxic, because Toxic don't really care about our life. So the Orator, we can get life, but we can't remove Toxic counters, or poison counters, or infect, whatever they're calling it these days. Alright. So, yeah, Orator's pretty fine. Definitely prefer... I think the Orator's just a 2-2 human actually isn't that bad anyway. And I am absolutely trading. This is a no-brainer. Absolutely. And I do not want toxic poison counters. No way. So, alright, so let's go for another Orator and just go in for... I guess we'll go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. Again, I don't really love scrying, because I don't want to leave myself wide open. But I think we're going to have to. We need a little bit more juice. Oh, there's some juice. Speaking of juice, as we'll say, we need a little bit more juice in our deck. That is one way to get some juice. Imodane's Recruiter. And now the Slaughter Singer is actually a 2-2, so unless they have like some sort of like removal spell, the 2-3 is going to hold it up, so I think we're okay with this. Norn's Fletching. I am a pretty big fan of this deck. I think it's actually pretty gosh darn good, and pretty underrepresented in Alchemy in general. Which, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, flatter you too much here, Pepperwoods. Alright, looking pretty good here. I think we're going to go for the Crossroads. And just, do I want to go for white or red? I guess we'll go... Yeah, I guess we'll white. It's not a big deal. Recruitment Officer. Now if I go for Imodane's Recruiter, I think we're going to have to just do this. Let's just put the Blitz on him. I know we're going to leave ourselves wide open. And maybe I even leave one back, but we're going to have to put some pressure on him. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe, yeah, we should at least put the Recruitment Officer back, because this is actually a really bad trade. The Crawling Chorus... It's going to take the officer, and they get that token back. So the Recruitment Officer definitely should have been left back. Unfortunately, we got a little bit too giddy. You know, I dropped the Recruiter. It is what it is. Bang, bang, bang. We at least get some damage in, and we still have no counters. No poison counters, which is going to change here in a second, which is kind of unfortunate. And I'm a little bit nervous, but we have to deal damage to win, so it is what it is. All right, Peppa, how you doing here? Oh, Blood Contaminator, I guess that's not the worst thing ever. Oh, a Rob Priest might be the worst thing ever, but we'll see. All right, how much are we taking here? The Singer has Toxic 2, so I think I'm taking 4 counters here. So you might as well swing in with the Might. The Might can't block, and I'm tapped out, so the Might has to go in. That doesn't make any sense not to. And then the Singer, I would assume, does. It's got Toxic... No? Wait, what the Might... I was going to say, the Might has to swing in. The Might makes no sense. This can't block. So the worst case scenario, you got to swing in with the Might. And then I would think they swing in with the Singer. The Singer has Toxic 2? Maybe they're... I have no hand. So, like, they can't be that afraid of, like, another Recruiter. I don't know. I mean, I'm not telling you how to play your deck here, Papa Woods, but I think that Singer, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm a little afraid of it. So, yep. Goes down to 17. Don't really care about that. I'm much more concerned about the 4 counters there. So I'm just trying to think, do I want to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky to kind of fly in? Do I want to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky to fly in? They have 8. How can we make this work? But then I don't think I can do that. I think we're going to have to just go for the Clue token instead of using it to scry. There we go. The Riders of the Mark. Absolutely love that card. So now we're gonna do this. Gain a little bit of life. The life does not matter, unfortunately, really. I guess maybe it could in a weird scenario, but... typically not really. And if I scry with the Warden, we kind of have to tap out, and they have kind of a big board here, especially with the Rot Priest. If they start targeting themselves, I don't think we can really swing in. This is really, yeah, this is actually kind of, I don't know where we sit here. Another Rot Priest. Oh, God. Are they going to finish me off here? Okay, well, Contaminator. Actually, I would prefer a Contaminator over anything that self-targets, so that's good. Alright, so they're tapped out. Let's see what they want to do here. Swing. I do have the Riders of the Mark here, so, I mean, they have to be kind of careful. Oh, I am a little... Okay, they don't swing. They don't swing either, so we are in a full-blown staring contest. I was never good at those in elementary school. It's pretty bad, not gonna lie to you. So if I go for Riders of the Mark, we pretty much just trade with a Contaminator. Like, that doesn't feel very good. So I'm thinking maybe we almost go for a Recruitment Officer. If I go for a Recruitment Officer and get a 1-drop, that's pretty good. So I want to make sure that the auto tapper is leaving me 1 white source open, because I don't have any 1-drop red sources. I think that's better. Yeah, we could go for the Riders of the Mark, and we do get another something. So I think this is looking good. Let's go and get our little Inspector here. I could go for an Imodane's Recruiter, but I wouldn't have a wider board than them. So I think ultimately, I'm just going to do this so that I can maybe scry a little bit more comfortably. Let's do that. Because I don't want to go for the Riders of the Mark here. So, okay, now we might be a little bit more in business. Rally of the Hornburg, sorry. And like I say, if I drop the Riders of the Mark right now, you know, did I overextend here? If I go for the Riders of the Mark, it just trades with the Contaminator, and I'm a little not comfortable with that. So I think we're slowly going to want to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. I am a little nervous here. If they have like something that's going to target themselves twice, then we just lose. I don't think there was really anything we could do about it, but wow, okay, so no self-targeting with double Rot Priest. Oh, okay, but they swing in now, and the Slaughter Singers go crazy. Okay, I actually, maybe should be a little more particular about the math. Let's block you. Okay, I have to at least chump block these because they have Toxic. They don't have Trample. The Contaminators are just coming through. We've got enough actual life to take care of it. So unless my math is wrong, there's Toxic 1, there's Toxic 2, 3, and the Contaminators proliferate. That should take me to 9 counters. Unless I'm stupid. Am I stupid? Yeah, then proliferate twice. 9? And we're still gonna have enough for the Riders of the Mark this way? Oh, baby, let's go. Okay, so we got, okay, actually kind of sucks that we don't have enough red. I don't think it's gonna matter though. Riders of the Mark is gonna finish this game. Absolutely comes in clutch. Look at this. Don't even need the rally. Let's go straight in for the Riders of the Mark. With Trample, even with the Phoresis Roach and the Singer, you can kiss it goodbye. The Fat Lady is gonna sing. Slaughter Singer is not gonna save you. Wow. Wow, okay. Yeah, that was just in a pinch. That was literally by the skin of my teeth, down perfectly to 0 with 9. Let's go ahead and give him a good game. Excellent match. Wow. Blue Lock, how are we doing? Let's go ahead. This looks like a pretty good keeper to me. Of course, got the Coppercoat Vanguard. Instead of that Convoke stuff, come on. Like, we got Convoke, but it's not like the Lethal Demolition Convoke. So let's go ahead and get our Inspector going, and we'll go for the turn 2 Coppercoat Vanguard. It'd be a little bit better if it was a rally at the Hornburg, just so we could go for, you know, either Convoke or the Riders of the Mark, which this card is the absolute thing that makes, this is the engine that makes it churn, or whatever that saying is. I don't even know what I'm saying, but this is an engine. It makes it churn. It does something. Well, let's do some damage. All right. So Knight-Errant of Eos, that's, you know, yeah, we have a weaker Knight without the Convoke and the Gleeful Demolition. No doubt about that. But I still kind of like this version. I don't know if I like it more or not. I'm leaning towards yes, but we'll see. So the Jewel Mine Overseer, of course, is a human. Let's go ahead and just drop this. Absolutely love this card. So we get to conjure 7 dwarves into our deck, and pretty much whatever happens is you just draw a card, right? So +1/+1 each creature, and then a deck can have up to 7. What? There we go. I was like, oh, what is going on here? Okay. All right. So the Jewel Mine Overseer, we get to not draw. We don't draw a card. We get to exile the top card of our library, and then we get to play it for that turn. And then let's go ahead and lose life here. Yeah, sure. All right, so we're kind of on the clock here, and then whenever they perpetually draw a card. So that was a big mouthful. I hope I kind of made a little bit of sense here. Now, they are not humans, which kind of hurts for the Riders of the Mark here. But if we just go in for, let's do this. I don't really care about my life total here, so let's not do that. And let's go in for the 7 dwarves, and then we can go for the Knight-Errant, which kind of sucks here, because if they do run into a Sunfall, we're kind of screwed. But I would still rather go for the Knight here. If they have the Sunfall, we at least convoke here, and we get to refuel our hand. So another Jewel Mine Overseer and the Impassioned Orator. Orator, obviously not very relevant in this type of matchup, but it is what it is. Fingers crossed. Do not drop that Sunfall. There's a Sunfall. Have you ever seen them not have a Sunfall? It's not going to happen. All right, so now, not the biggest deal. I mean, if they have another one, we're obviously going to cry. I'm losing life. I'm losing life till I die. I don't give a crap. I'm not giving you a card. I'm not giving you a card. No, 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 no. All right, so I gotta be more mindful. The 7 dwarves, obviously not being a human is kind of unfortunate. So I think we're just gonna go in a full, man, I would like to draw a card though. But we can, now let's just do this. Impassioned Orator, and then we'll go for another Jewel Mine Overseer. And with that, we get even more 7 dwarves. And this is why I like the Jewel Mine Overseer over the Evangelist. Other than it being a human, obviously. But the Evangelist, oh, you dirty dog. Oh, you dirty dog. That is frustrating. I'm losing life. I'm losing... Ooh. Alright, well, that kind of slows me down here, especially that Breach the Multiverse. Definitely will slow me down. Alright, well, let's go in for the Impassioned. I guess maybe this will be relevant. Let's go for the Orator. They can't have 3 Sunfalls. I mean, what the heck is this? Let's go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. Get the life gain going. 7 dwarves. And you get the draw card off of 7 dwarves, which of course is nice, and another Rider of the Mark, which here's the problem though. With this thing, we do need humans on the board. So that is going to be a problem. Let's go ahead and do this. Another Warden of the Inner Sky. I think we'll take it, I guess. If they do clear this board again, I will cry. They can't, I don't think they have enough for lethal. They actually have, I mean, they have quite a bit of damage here. Shamil the Inner Sun, okie dokie. Discover 5 and a, oh my god, and a 1 ring. So they're gonna shut off combat here too. Oh. Alright. Obviously, it's close. They go on the bottom. They go on the bottom. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to just lose the life, but that's really risky. Let's take a look here. I do not want to give him an extra card, but gosh dang, I think I'm gonna have to. Alright. Alright, so let's go in for Warden of the Inner Sky. Warden of the Inner Sky. Gain some life. We're going to go for Riders of the Mark. Bang. I know that we can't really do anything here, but if it is attacked, so let's go for the Riders of the Mark. This has to attack. I know they obviously have protection from the 1 ring, which obviously really sucks. But let's go for the Warden of the Inner Sky, and now we can get some scries going. But this had to attack is the point I'm trying to make. And a 7 dwarves is fine. Again, it's not a human, but we do get to draw off of it, so I think we're just going to have to let this go. And then Riders of the Mark goes back to our hand, and we create a bunch of new things for the Impassioned Orator. And now that gives us a little bit more life to kind of play around with this Pouncer or Vorthank. We can start losing life again. They can't have a 3rd Sunfall, right? Come on. That's only... What they have a... Oh, pain! 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 Oh my god. They even have, I was going to say, they even have one of these like meme decks. I don't even know how many cards they have. It's 62, so that tells me that they didn't come into here with a 62 card or a 60 card deck. So we're getting kind of schooled here, and we're going to take 10 damage there. At this point, it is what it is. 7 dwarves, we do get to draw. The Riders of the Mark, not looking too good here. Novice Inspector. I think we're just going to have to take a draw here. I'm salty. I'm salty. Got another 7 dwarves here. I am a salty gills. 2 Sunfalls. I guess it is what it is. I mean, Breach the Multiverse at this point. Oh man. I mean, are they even running? Like, why are they even running Breach the Multiverse? I mean, they're gonna steal creatures from us, but I don't see a creature or a planeswalker in their entire deck here, right? It's just like a bunch of removal. Like, oh my god, this is so cringe. It's even more cringy that I'm gonna lose to this. Oh, Lord help me. Alright, there's a Rider of the Mark. I think we're done. I think we are truly done here. Absolute cringe. Blue Lock, I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not happy with you right now. So even if I do this, that's 4. That 3 goes through. Yeah. You know what? I'll remember you, Blue Lock. I'll remember you. Damon Wall, how we doing here? Looking like a pretty standardish hand here. We do have the Knight. Of course, having the Knight. Always kind of Knights here, but we're not like, you know, we're We're not like the standard convoke deck. Ooh, that was a mulligan. Hey, that was a mulligan. Let's go and give our opponent the friendly mulligan hello. Everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan. So, all right, got the Captivating Crossroads. Let's go ahead and just start off with this. Go for a nice white and drop our little... Oh, well, let's not go for our A-Thran Portal. I don't think we can do that just yet. So, go for our little Inspector and see what we're playing. Most likely going to be either Convoke or Burn. There's like mono red burn, there's like the Inscription of the Ring, but either way, having 2 red and not playing a single thing by turn 2 is a little weird. So maybe we're playing some sort of like off brand, I don't know. All right, so I gotta go for the Coppercoat Vanguard, and I think we're probably gonna do that. I never want to put down the Orator first. Let's swing in. If we're playing against red, they usually have a removal spell to remove one of the first creatures here, and then at least we can put down the Orator and then put a Raid Bombardment. Okay, so they're still going to be looking to do damage, but I like this a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get down our Impassioned Orator, because the life gain is exactly what we want to be getting into here. So yeah, I could go for the Knight-Errant or something like that, but I want to get the life gain established, and now this has Ward 1, which is absolutely beautiful, because we're going to have to get the A-Thran Portal going, and then we get our investment back. So we pay 1, but we get 1, and then we swing in here. So, I don't know, this Raid Bombardment, I think it's an okay card. I think it's a little bit too slow to kind of do what you want to do, and apparently they agree to. Guy, how we doing there? Looks like that's a pretty dynamite start, as long as we have the Riders of the Mark. Otherwise, I don't even know if it can get much better. So, I'm going to go for the Inspector first. I know it's like, well, you might want to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky first, but there's so much burn in Alchemy that I am a little nervous. So, now, hindsight, knowing that there's a forest, I would have gone for the Warden of the Inner Sky, but it is what it is. But, yeah, let's go ahead and just do this and go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. A little bit more awkward here. No, I guess it's kind of the same thing, really, right? I mean, it is what it is now. I think I'm just overthinking things. Another land, we can do that, but... Turn 3, we go for the Jewel Mine Overseer. Absolutely a huge fan of this card. It does allow for some pretty big boards, but let's see. I mean, we gotta be a little bit careful here. Don't want to get too comfortable. Got a lot of pain lands here, so that is kind of why I do kind of like the Impassioned Orator. So, I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to wait on the Knight. Of course, our Knight is not nearly as effective. Not nearly as effective in this kind of deck here versus like the Gleeful Demolition style, but of course, it's still a powerful thing. So, Warden of the Inner Sky, and we do have a 7 Dwarves, and I think, you know, whenever this enters the battlefield, it does draw a card, so I think we're going to keep this. Yeah, and we're gonna swing in, and we're gonna be looking good. So the Jewel Mine Overseer, it's this or the Evangelist, but if we're really committing to humans, I think this is better because it also allows you to build bigger boards. This is pretty wild here, just a 4/2 Trampler, and this. Okay, well with Jewel Mine Overseer, we do get that additional card every turn, so I guess we'll do this. And I only have this turn to play the 7 Dwarves, so we'll go ahead and do that. I don't think we're too worried about our life total now. I mean, the 4/2 Trampler is, you know, something to kind of note, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, let's do this. Let's go for the Novice Inspector. And then we can go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. Boom, boom, boom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can go in for the Knight. I think that's pretty gosh darn dynamite. Let's make sure that we got, the Orator. I think the Orator, we'll go ahead and keep it. I mean, if they're going to be putting damage on the board, this is a creature deck. I think we're going to do this. So let's go ahead and get our, this is as Vigilance, so let's do this first. Down to there, and then let's go for the Knight. Okay, whew. Feels pretty good. And I definitely want, do you want double Orators, or do we want at least 1 Overseer? We already have an Overseer, so I think we'll just go for the... I don't know. Let's just go for the Overseer. Screw it. Let's go for the Overseer. I think if we just get, like, what? 14? 7 Dwarves? That... Oh, this thing doesn't have Trample. This doesn't have Trample. I'm not worried about it. You know what? I think I may just block here. Sure. Yeah, sure. So like I said, this Gigantosaur, I forgot. This thing does not have Trample, so unfortunately, I mean, it's an awesome card, and I would love to love it, but I can't because it doesn't have Trample. So right now, it's just a big 10-10, but I'm a little nervous. Maybe they give it Trample somehow, which is a little scary. So maybe we just go back onto that life gain grind. Let's go for the Impassioned Orator. So Impassioned Orator, go back into the Warden of the Inner Sky. Let's drop you. We'll get us back with whatever we do there. So, yeah, Warden of the Inner Sky. We can only have this for the turn of the Overseer. So, we do this, Warden of the Inner Sky, gain that life. Yeah, this is fine. And then we go for Coppercoat Vanguard. Buff up our human board here, except for the dwarves. Dwarves are unfortunately not a human, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So even if they do something crazy with this 10-10, I mean, can they give it trample at instant speed? That's kind of what I'm worried about, but not super worried. Let's just do this for now. I'm always... and that's probably going to be lights out. Imodane's Recruiter. Let's go ahead and do this, and I'm going to swing in now. Yeah, no sneaky reaches or nothing. Sometimes this thing is a tree. I guess it's a plant, technically, but it looks like a tree. They give us a good game. I mean... I don't know. Maybe they have something that I'm not aware of. It's down to 7, and then we got the Imodane's Recruiter. I don't think I have to scry anymore. I don't know. I mean, it felt a little too easy. Obviously, mono green, I think you can build it, but unfortunately, the Gigantosaurus is going to be mostly a meme.